Welcome to Sovereign Reality with Natalie, a podcast for women done playing small. I'm Natalie, metaphysical guide and metaphorical keeper of the flame. Each week, we will channel the power of a different goddess, her myth, her message, and her medicine, so that you can rise, reclaim, and remember who the hell you are. The world doesn't need you quiet, babe. It needs you lit up. So let's rise. Hey, gorgeous. Welcome back to Sovereign Reality. Last week, we walked the river of truth with Sarasvati, the goddess who cannot be silenced. And this week, we're stepping into the crossroads and threshold spaces where women have always held power. But these are also the places that patriarchy has often misunderstood and therefore tried to control. Are you shocked? And here, waiting in the shadows with a torch in her hand and keys at her belt is Hekate, the goddess of magic, liminality, and sovereignty. If Sarasvati gave you the gift of voice, Hekate gives you the gift of choice. You like what I did there? She's the guide who illuminates the unseen path and the mother who reminds you that you carry the keys to your destiny. I first heard of Hekate, I got a very brief intro to her when I was studying under Daniel Dulski, the author of Woman Most Wild, I want to say back in 2017, 2018 maybe. And I ended up buying a Hekate statue. Had very little idea of how to work with Hekate or how to invoke her, like any of the things, right? I was a very novice witch at the time, and I never actually got to this part of Danielle's training because of COVID. So unfortunately, I just got introduced to her, but never really fully cultivated a relationship until much later. I was always very intrigued by this statue. She's absolutely fierce, torch in hand, full fierceness to her face. It's just so fiery, the energy of it, right? And I would often invoke her or ask her for protection when I felt that I needed it. Anyway, as the years transpired, or the years went by, I kind of lost touch with a lot of my spiritual practices in general, but definitely Hekate. And wasn't really until recently that I really started asking her for help, asking her for guidance, learning more about her, learning more about how valuable, number one, that she is and how much she can help you if you're in a transition phase of your life. So in my case, I've had this inkling to anchor in this divine feminine energy, to speak about it, to be maybe not loud about it in the sense of going out with signs and protesting per se, although... But I did feel this energy of no, this is absolutely necessary. And this is something that it just felt like it couldn't be taken away from me, which was really odd considering the political climate that we're currently in and all of these rights kind of being taken from women. And I don't know what it was, but something just clicked. And at first, I wanted to be very quiet and not say anything and not do anything. I even unpublished my book early on. If this is your first time hearing me, I wrote a book, I had it published, I unpublished it. Anyway, it's going through a full rewrite now, and it will get published again, I promise, and I'll let you know when it's out. But regardless of that, I wanted to get very quiet, and I didn't want to rock any boats, and I didn't want any attention on me. So obviously, as time has gone on, and this has been the longest 4 years of my life in 8 months, I was just something clicked, and it was just no, absolutely not. You will not do that. But then it was just sort of okay, well, what am I supposed to do with this? What do I do with this energy that I feel, that I have here, that I know it's it feels so solid, and it felt so I need to be, obviously I'm doing something with it on a personal level, but how can I do this in a way that serves the broader collective, right? These other women who might want something else, might be looking for something just like this, or just to know that you come from such a strong lineage of feminine power. There's so much feminine power inside of you, and whether you're in touch with it or you've suppressed it or you're not even aware that it's there, and then it's up to you, it's up to all of us to be able to access that. So anyway, long story very short, I started working with Hekate, and I started asking just to help me choose the right path, help to illuminate my next steps. Because when you're in that liminal space, and by the way, if you're not entirely sure what that means, it's sort of like the transition of what was into what's becoming. So it's like the old version of you isn't quite there anymore, but you're not quite that new version of you yet. Or maybe you're just in a space where you're like, I feel like I don't know what path to take, right? So you're just at a standstill. It's not that you're stuck. It's just a void in a sense. And it's not like a void of like emptiness, I give up, this sucks kind of void. It's more just like, gosh, this is going to sound really bad, but like dead space. Like there's just, it's not like a lot of energy in any sort of direction. And so it might just feel like a standstill, or like, and in my mind's eye, what I'm seeing right now is the tarot card, the Hanged Man. So it might just sort of feel like that for you, where it's just like this pause. There's not a lot of momentum forward, but you're not sliding back either. And so there's just, it's the liminal space. It's the space in between. And that's kind of where I was. So I started working with Hekate and just sort of asking her, I have a key representing her. I've given my statue to my child who loves it. So yeah, I just was like, how do I best serve? How do I best serve this energy? And while you're listening to part of that idea, and then of course my website and all of these other things have sort of taken on a new life from it. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy for it. And I'm so happy to be doing it. And I think what I didn't fully know would come with that is the confidence and the belief in it, in the belief that this is the right thing, regardless of whether it's the most popular thing and people love it or they don't. And I'm just here speaking into the void. Like, that's okay. I'm doing this because I truly enjoy it. I truly enjoy talking about these goddesses. I truly enjoy giving them a voice. I truly enjoy helping you. If you get anything from these and you're like, wow, I didn't realize that, or I didn't know that, it's a win, no matter what. And if you know me, if you're listening to this and you know me on a personal level, or if you're just meeting me for the first time yet again, I have had many, many, many ventures and many, many, many failures. I have tried so many different things and failed miserably at most of them. I have had moments where I've given up and moments where I've wanted to start over, and not a single one of those times have I ever felt as empowered and confident behind my choice as I do now. And so I feel like it just needs to be said again that if you work with Hekate, I feel like, yes, she gives you the keys to the direction that you're wanting to take, or whatever direction would be best for you and in your highest good and the highest good of all. But I also feel like she gives you an added level of confidence and fieriness, like a fierceness to your inner psyche. So for me, Hekate isn't just a myth. She's a mirror of the inner authority that we all carry, and that's waiting to be claimed. And it's available to you just as much as it was available to me. So let's talk a little bit about her story. Hecate's roots stretch back to ancient Greece, where she was deeply honored as a household protector and civic goddess. She ruled thresholds, those in-between places of beginnings and endings, life and death, seen and unseen. Artists often showed her carrying torches, guiding souls through darkness. She held keys, reminding us that every locked door has a way through. Sometimes she was accompanied by dogs, guardians of the boundary between the living and the dead. And in her most powerful form, she was depicted as tripled-bodied or tripled-faced, past, present, and future, maiden, mother, crone, earth, sky, and underworld. These depictions weren't just art. They were symbols of her role as the one who could walk between worlds and guide us at life's most pivotal crossroads. But unfortunately, as patriarchy grew, Hecate's story shifted. The goddess who lit the way was recast as something to fear. Her torches became a witch fire. Her keys became symbols of forbidden knowledge, and her dogs became hellhounds. The same liminal power that once made her revered was rewritten as dangerous. Christianity later amplified this, transforming her into an ominous, witchy figure lingering in the shadows. And this is always the familiar pattern. Women's power is celebrated until it threatens the order of patriarchy. Then it's erased, demonized, or twisted. But here's the truth. Hekate was never the monster. She was never the threat. She has always been the torchbearer for women, reclaiming their power. When we look at her with clear eyes, we see a goddess of sovereignty. She holds the past, present, and future not to control, but to illuminate them. She teaches us that crossroads are not curses. They are invitations. She says, "You are your own guide. You carry the light. The path may twist, but it belongs to you." So as we do with every episode, we have a Hekate ritual. This is the Crossroads guidance and sovereignty ritual. So if you'd like to work with Hekate directly, this is something that you can try. Think of this as a way to honor her and to invite her torchlight into your own crossroads. These ritual steps will be in the show notes, so you can always come back at any time and perform the ritual as and when you need, or if you ever want. Because if you're driving, or maybe this just isn't for you right now, that's totally fine. But at least you know it's here and it's available to you. So the first thing we are going to do is set our space. If possible, go to a literal crossroads outdoors. May not be possible for you or accessible to you, and that's okay, because we can create one symbolically at home. What you're going to do is place 3 stones or 3 candles in a Y shape to represent the paths. So black candles work beautifully, but truly just use whatever you have. Next, we're going to offer something to her. Hekate loves simple, earthy gifts. So you can think garlic, honey, coins, bread, or even a small key. And you're going to place your offering at the center of your crossroads. Next, you're going to take a deep breath and just feel your body settle. And then say out loud, Hekate, keeper of the crossroads, torchbearer, holder of keys, mother of magic, I call you here. Guide me. Illuminate the path I cannot see. Show me what I need to walk in sovereignty. Now close your eyes and imagine 3 paths before you. 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and 1 straight ahead. Feel the mystery in each path. Then see Hekate appear, triple formed, dogs at her side, torches blazing. Watch as she steps forward and raises her torch to illuminate one of those paths, the one aligned with your highest good. Breathe into this vision. Let any images, sensations, or clarity arise. Hekate speaks in whispers and symbols, so trust whatever comes. If you need a little bit more time, feel free to just pause the podcast. But if you're ready, we're going to take a piece of paper and write down the choice, question, or decision that you're holding on to. Fold it and hold it close to your heart. Then say, I claim my power. I choose my path with clarity and courage. Place the paper with your offering or keep it somewhere sacred, and then thank Hekate by saying, Hekate, torchbearer, guide, mother, I thank you. Walk with me as I walk my path. Feel free to let the candles burn a little longer if you'd like, or you may extinguish them one by one, slowly and intentionally. If you're outside, you can leave your offering there, but if you're indoors, you can bury it, compost it, or dispose of it respectfully. Finally, take a moment to journal. Note what you saw, what you felt, what you heard inside yourself. And over the next few days, keep your eyes open for synchronicities. Hekate loves to send signs. This ritual is about standing in your sovereignty and trusting the torch within you. It's also about remembering that the crossroads are not places of fear, they are places of choice and power. Hekate reminds us that endings and beginnings are not enemies, they are always gateways. And what looks like darkness can be a part of the illumination. She reminds us that sovereignty is not always something granted, it's something to be claimed. And when patriarchy tries to demonize women's wisdom, independence, and authority, Hecate's torch shows us the way forward. And she reminds us the path is yours, the key is yours, the power is already yours. So as always, if today's episode stirred something inside of you, share it with a fellow goddess, a soul sister, or another babe ready to rise. And follow me for more Sacred Rebellion on TikTok and Instagram at Sovereign with Natalie. And for deeper resources and free rituals, you can sign up for my emailing list at www.sovereignsanctuary.space. I promise I will not spam you. I will send you 1 to 2 emails a month with resources and rituals that I think will truly benefit you. Be sure to join me next week as we continue our goddess journey with Sophia. She is the goddess of wisdom, and I am so excited to be talking about her for our second to the last episode of season 1. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay sacred, and keep rising. Because the world doesn't need you quiet, babe. That's your divine download for the week. If this episode lit your fire, share it. Leave a review and subscribe so the flame keeps burning bright. If you want more Sacred Rebellion, you can come find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sovereign with Natalie. Remember, you are the storm. You are sovereign. Stay wild, stay sacred, and keep rising.